Yo, yo, yo. So everybody want me to post more on what I'm saying and shit. So on the bounty tank situation, a lot of people don't understand what's going on. The nigga was serving the warrant. They are criminals. They don't want to go to jail. They don't respect them as a person, as a human being, as a black man, etc. Whatever kind of angle you want to look at that shit. He trying to put them in jail. They not going for it. They think they slick and clever because, criminals and shit think they conniving or whatever. They shoot and conspire to shoot the nigga and to shoot him to get away with it. Then you would say, okay, the police going to stop that. Well, the police, that's where the corruption come in. The police is in on it and the media is in on it because they had it out for them the whole time. You see what I'm saying? Because they just couldn't figure out a way to kill him because motherfucking he clean. He's an officer. You see what I'm saying? He's an officer of the court. If you don't understand, like people keep saying, oh, why don't they leave that shit to the police? That's not the police's job. Police officers, when they're serving those fake me out warrants, those are special task protocol people that really outside their jurisdiction, basically serving warrants and basically killing black people and doing whatever they want to do to violate y'all civil liberties under the guise of judicial law. You see what I'm saying? But really, the bounty laws, the bounty hunters, and the bounty law in general corresponds with the officer of the court situation. And the officers of the court, i.e. U.S. Marshals and things of that nature that are not law enforcement, are in charge with fugitive capture. You tracking? So like they really jumping, they playing this game because they really want y'all to, suck police dick because police are like the biggest gang. You see what I'm saying? In order for them to keep being a gang and doing the things that they do, they got to keep y'all believing and thinking that they the only ones that got power to have arrest authority and things of that nature, to carry guns with open carry, things of that nature, have bulletproof vests, things of that nature, which are all things that civilians can do. You tracking me? You see what I'm saying? That being said, when they are no longer police officers at that 9 to 5, because it all is a job, they then return back to natural civilian capacity. They are superseding their ability, or you know what I mean, overbounding or stretching, their ability to go ahead and do the jobs that they do because basically, it makes them feel like they're gangsters. That's why we say they're the biggest gang, because that's some gang mentality ass motherfucking shit if there ever was any. Are we tracking? So with that being said, you got a black guy coming into your gang territory, your turf, your police territory, your jurisdiction as they call it, and he's coming in there, he's cleaning up the streets, and he's making you look bad, being the fact that you're the one really running the guns, you're the really one smuggling the children, you're the really one, bringing in the drugs or what have you, and debaucherizing the area, which is making it into this, dungeon of a place anyway, which then allows you to be the police, because there's no such thing as crime. See, people are foolish and mundane and naive to believe that there's crime and all this other thing. These things are not true. There is no crime like that, like they saying. People would work together and would police themselves like they've always had since the beginning of time. You do not need these group of Gestapo white men running around with hollow tip bullets and guns and trucks with, presidential tinted windows, intimidating people, essentially making you all believe that they're your saviors when they've yet to save a fucking single thing. They can't even save the trees in the forest when the fires come. You see what I'm saying? Or when the rain comes and everyone is drowning. They're virtually useless in every capacity besides murdering black people. Boom. Are we tracking? Are we still tracking? Boom. So now saying black people, because like, people don't want to say these things. I've never heard nobody talk like this. Like, it's time people need to start saying what it is and what it is, what it isn't, okay? These people oppress and subjugate my people for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it still has not stopped. And I don't know what other world you all live on, but you see what I'm saying? This is no different. Now, we're fast forwarding. This man in this doomed world that we're now describing happens to have a job as an officer of the court. And the officer's job of the court, he is to go grab these people up so that they can go see their day in court. If you've ever been locked up, or you haven't because you're a goody two-shoe, but when you get in court, you're going to have to get a bond. You've heard of a bond. Oh, you're going to place bond. You got $100 million bond and all these different bonds. But when you place the bond, you got to go to the bondsman to place the bond. He's the bondsman to place the bond. Under most circumstances, under any other normal circumstance, you go to court and you have your day in court and you either lose loser and you don't win. Well, in these black people or criminal people's cases, no matter the color, because he has all kind of different color people who he catches, Mexican, white, black, all kind of. In a criminal's case, you have certain kind of criminals that decide to go on the run, and those criminals going on the run are fugitives. Are we tracking still? Okay. So they are fugitives. Okay. You know what I mean? So they are harboring, the mother is now harboring her sons, which are fugitives because she loves them. And that is harboring a fugitive, which is also a crime. So they're all in the act of committing a crime. Tracking? So while they're all in the act of committing, for aiding and abetting, is what I believe the terminology is. There, she's aiding and abetting. You know what I'm saying? And now this a officer of the court has come and tracked these people down because the police, which are white, most likely white men, do not do any of this kind of work. They don't want to do this kind of work. They talk a good game about liberty and justice and all this crap, but all they really want to do is run around with guns and shoot and murder people. And if the job and the task isn't about beating someone up, harassing someone, or murdering someone, they're really not into it. And this job is about investigation, doing the dirty work, doing the leg work, and ascertaining information so that you can find the target. You see what I'm saying? And so he's now found the target. He's now tracked the target down to a said location. He's now at the location. And just like any kind of target, when you have a rat cornered in a corner, they then motherfucking have a drunk. So now this is where I have a problem. This is where I take problem. Now that we've established that this is such a vigorous and rough job, I've always had a concern about the fact that Tank was so nice to these people. I understand why he was nice to them, because there are people, and our people are, what I'm saying, he was trying to, he was trying to save our people. So, you know what I mean? So I understand exactly why, but I always took a problem with it, being to say that sometimes I felt like he should have taken a few people and picked them up and dropped them on their fucking head. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like this might have been another one of those situations in my mind where he might have had the drop. I haven't seen, there's obviously no footage or anything, where he might have had the ability to shoot and kill these people and defend himself. But because he's such a nice guy, because he's always, trying to take things in a nice kind of way, he's always on some non-violent type shit. You see what I'm saying? Which is really making me upset on why how everyone is literally slandering his name and making him seem like he's some jackbooted thug when he's actually a fucking nice guy to his own fucking demise, apparently. You see what I mean? Where he was so fucking nice, apparently. You see me? He was hesitant to pull the trigger on the target. You see what I mean? And I always thought that was an issue for me. You see what I'm saying? So, nevertheless, he's now tracked the target to the target to the target to the target's location. You see what I'm saying? So we literally it's like, I don't know if you play Call of Duty or whatever. This shit red. He did like, you're right on top of this thing, okay? So you're on top of it, bro. You see what I'm saying? And these little sneaky motherfuckers shoot my nigga. They shoot fucking Tank. Frank Frazier is his real name. You see what I'm saying? And they shoot him, and then the conspiracy and all this is because they don't treat him like an officer. Any other time when you see a white guy, a white cop get shot, I'm saying they open up heaven and hell to try to get this fucking cracker to the fucking hospital. You see what I'm saying? They calling for backup. They not rendering no backup. When this nigga is an officer of the court, he has a badge. You see what I'm saying? That's another problem. They never liked the fact that he had a badge, like they got a badge. See, the white man oppresses you all with his badge and his gun, and he makes you feel like he's fucking special because he's got a fucking badge and a gun. You see what I'm saying? So when the black man gets a badge and a gun, you see what I'm saying? The white man don't respect the badge and the gun all of a sudden then. You see what I'm saying? Because he's a racist piece of shit. You see what I'm saying? So he only respect what he want to respect. You see what I'm saying? This is real truth. They probably, I don't know if they're going to take this video down or not. If you see it, record it, share it, do what you can, because they really don't let you say these kind of things out loud. You see what I'm saying? As long as you want to be friends with these motherfuckers and let them abuse your people and let them abuse you and let them drag you down a dark road that you never get away from, you can do that all day. But if you speak up against them and against their practices and against their behavior and against the way they do things to people, you see what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden your channel and your video it got a strike or something. You see what I'm saying? So it's very sneaky the way they conducting themselves. You see what I'm saying? And so in that same tone, now we have a black man on the ground. The niggas calling for help and they trying to ask for help to get them to render aid. And these niggas taking their sweet ass time, knowing that this nigga's an officer of the court, knowing that he calls every time before he comes to the location. So before he gets to make it, right when he's on his way, he calls them up on the phone and says, "Hey, yo, what's up? This is Tank. I'm now about to go serve a warrant at XYZ location." So He's now at the XYZ location, at the location that he had just called these people, prior for them to go. But because the police are worthless pieces of shit and do not have their affairs in order, the information probably doesn't even get to where it needs to get to most of the time, from what I've seen. Meaning to say that when he calls in and says, hey, I'm about to come through the location of Checkpoint Charlie, they're supposed to now relay that information to all corresponding units and say, hey, we got a guy in your zone. But they're not doing any of that shit. That shit gets written down on a piece of paper and gets tossed in the trash or something, because these fucking crackers are lazy pieces of shit. Like I be telling you, they only motherfucking, if it ain't about murdering and jumping out of a plane or something to go murder something, you see what I'm saying? They ain't, they're not into it. You dig what I'm saying? They're not into it. Esau is not into that shit. You see what I'm saying? Aesop is a hunter. You see what I'm saying? If he ain't killing a deer, he ain't killing something, he ain't loading something to go kill something. Kill, 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 kill. That's all these fucking freaks' minds are fucking preoccupied on. You dig what I'm saying? And then they make you believe that it's like colored people, black folk, and I don't say colored people. When I say colored people, I mean only black folk. I'm not talking this brown colored bullshit they talking about. I'm using the old terminology of what they used to call our people. Our people used to be called colored folk. You know what I mean? And colored folk, you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This is the mentality that they've now instilled into them and made, and then now got the world make believing that colored people are the ones who are the murderers, when it's them the ones that murder. It's them that got the missiles. It's them with the warships. It's them with the rocket ships. It's them with the missiles that's on the fucking planes, the cruise seeking missiles and etc. You see what I'm saying? They are the warmongers. They like to portray and show you a few little stupid ass black people with guns, which are Glock 9s, which are made by Gaston Glock. Gaston Glock being a white man who made this weapon. You see what I'm saying? So you got black dudes running around with white weapons. You see what I'm saying? Shooting up their community that's really not their community, because they don't own anything, because our people have never owned anything, because the white man never honored the 40 acres and the mule deal, because he's fucking dishonorable and a re-nigger. He is the true nigger. All right, whoa, money Buddha. Too deep. I don't know if I went too deep right there. Boom. That being said, we got our brother on the ground, which is really another brother in blue, because he's a part of the justice system. But to them, their brother in blue is only their little gang, gun ho, white people abuser system, where they get to abuse people and do whatever they want to do to people, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? So with that motherfucker being said, you know what I'm saying? Homie on the ground. They call up the police on the phone and try to basically do like, how kids used to be when you was in school. They try to run to the teacher before one another to try to get the story to the teacher before the teacher, because teachers are stupid. And the teacher in this case is the police, and police dispatch and shit is stupid. So they basically going on whoever called first. That's why they tell you in concealed carry, if you ever done a concealed carry gun class, they tell you if you do pull your gun or have to basically pull the gun, aka brandish the gun or pull the gun down, they might call the police or something and say, hey, you brandished a weapon. And so if you do have to pull your gun on a target, but you don't end up having to shoot and neutralize the threat, you still are supposed to call the police and let them know that, hey, I had this kind of altercation with this kind of motherfucker. I had to pull my gun on them. And when I put my gun on them, I didn't squeeze the trigger because they then, backed off. You see what I'm saying? So I'm walking down the street. Some guy was trying to mug me. I pulled my gun out on him and he backed away. And you see what I'm saying? And you got to, but you want to report that, because you never know. That guy might call the police and say, hey, man, this motherfucker pulled a gun on me. You know what I'm saying? And now you look bad. So basically, that's basically what they did. They tried to jump the gun. They on the jump talking. They whispering and shit. Shit. Oh my God. He's shooting. They're shooting through the walls, knowing this is a TV show. They film everything, bro. You see what I'm saying? They're now shooting through the walls because you now have retreated back into the building after you've now taken fire onto them and basically essentially ambushed them